Is Ford hitting the brakes on its electric vehicle dreams? Ford's electric vehicle trip appears to be encountering more roadblocks than open spaces. The staff is getting smaller, investments are on hold, and production is dropping. Ford's electrified nation policy seems to be reaching a standstill. Given the present trends, the Ford EV period may soon be coming to an end. Ford predicted that it would sell 400,000 electrified Mustangs by 2023, but in reality, it sold just 24,719, a 94% failure rate. It may surprise you to learn that Ford wasted $4.5 billion on electric cars only last year. That is accurate, really. However, why is this EV breakdown occurring and what's going on? Initially, there was the Ford EV issue, thinking it would be a game changer. A big company in the automotive sector ventured into the electric vehicle market. The chief executive Jim Farley had this big idea of EV taking over the highways. Unfortunately, reality had other plans. Let's examine the reasons for Ford's maneuvering in this challenging electric vehicle landscape, and this is just the beginning. Ford's first quarter losses are a huge cause for concern. Though it may seem like the most pressing issue, this is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of issues. More accurately, it is the inevitable result of Ford's electric vehicle policy, which has been made by significant errors for years. Ford is clearly losing money on electric vehicles, but then things took a turn for the worst. If you recall the reports from the previous year, Ford lost around $5 billion on electric vehicles in 2023. That is a little more than $40,000 for each vehicle. Things are considerably worse this year, at least so far in this first quarter. Just 10,000 EVs were sold over these 3 months, a 20% decrease from the company's sales during the same period last year due to major manufacturing reductions. The fact that the revenue dropped by 84% to barely $100 million is much more remarkable. Out of the 10,000 EVs it sold in the first quarter, the corporation lost $1.3 billion, or a staggering $130,000 for each and every EV. Another intriguing aspect of this report is that it was released immediately after Ford said that it would reduce the Mach-E's production cost by $5,000. How on earth is that possible? It's crucial to remember though that producing and selling these 10,000 EVs isn't the only thing that causes losses. According to officials, hundreds of millions of dollars are being invested in research and development for the next electric vehicle models. And these costs won't start to show a return for several years. The company also stated that the projected loss for this year is around $5 billion, which is on par with last year's losses, with the only difference being that the sales are even lower now. In other words, the only thing Ford can do at the moment to reduce losses is to reduce the production of electric vehicles, which doesn't seem like much of a strategy. There has been a 50% drop in EV sales. Can you imagine? Ford's EV sales seem to be collapsing as the EV market grows less rapidly. Sales of the Mach-E have drastically decreased by 50%, and analysts project that more than 20,000 vehicles are sitting on dealership shelves. Ford's all-electric truck, the F-150 Lightning, was hailed as the company's future. Nevertheless, its real-world range and charge rate are dismal, making it a major underperformer. As a result, demand has decreased and a sizable number of memberships have been cancelled. It should come as no surprise that Ford has drastically lowered production of this pickup, resulting in hundreds of layoffs, given the losses the company has been suffering. In total, hybrid sales are up more than 42% from the same time last year, despite ongoing sales declines. It's interesting to note that even sales of models that run solely on gas have also increased by 2.6%. The all-electric F-150 was found to be a severe underperformer, with a meager real-world range and a poor charging rate. As soon as consumers discovered that, demand declined to the point where we have never seen so many subscription cancellations. It makes sense that the production was drastically reduced in light of this, as well as the fact that the Blue Oval firm has been losing a lot of money on this vehicle. Ford even had to fire hundreds of employees from this plant, which we will discuss shortly. Overall, sales are declining, and each new report shows a declining percentage. Of particular significance is the fact that in contrast to Ford's faltering EV divisions, hybrid sales are rising by more than 42% from the same period last year. Even the sales of vehicles that run solely on gas have increased by 2.6%. Moreover, Ford cut 70% of its EV workforce. Production of Ford's all-electric F-150 had to be reduced as losses increased and customer demand declined. This resulted in an unavoidable round of layoffs at the Dearborn facility, where the F-150 Lightning was first manufactured. But no one could have predicted how terrible this decision would be. The plant, which employed 21,000 people, was a hive of activity just a few months ago. The number has now dropped to only 700. The future of the remaining 1,400 workers was in jeopardy while Ford struggled to decide what to do. Eventually, 700 of these laborers were moved to the Wayne facility, where they were part of the team that produced the Bronco and Ranger body-on-frame vehicles. The remaining 700 employees were given two options: take a $50,000 retirement package or agree to be sent anywhere in Southeast Michigan. This choice brought to light Ford's difficult reality about its EV strategy and the effects it had on its employees. Let's change course and go on to our next point now. Have you ever wondered why, in spite of significant reductions, Ford's EV sales are falling? There are two primary offenders. The first, a lackluster performance, has already been covered. The standard of Ford's EVs is the second offender. The Blue Oval Company, Ford, has never been the epitome of excellence and dependability. However, it appears that EVs have reached a new low. Ford has received a sizable number of complaints concerning its electric vehicles throughout the years. The concerns range from persistent grievances regarding the construction quality to more significant faults like the Mustang Mach-E's battery contactor overheating due to DC charging or rapid acceleration. The manufacturer was forced to recall over 35,000 units in 2022 alone due to overheating, which resulted in power outages and in some cases, the car not starting at all. Not much better was the F-150 Lightning's performance. Even the pickups caught fire for no obvious cause on a few occasions, such as the Dearborn plant incident, where one truck burned to the ground and damaged several others. Even the F-150 Lightning was recalled because of a high-voltage junction box that was dangerously constructed and might catch fire. If it weren't for their ambitious electrification goal, Ford may be experiencing a comfortable financial bonanza in this era of record-breaking profits for businesses like Toyota. According to the most recent estimates for 2024, EVs will be the main obstacle to enormous profit margins. Ford just increased its predicted profits from $10.4 billion to $11 billion, which is a substantial rise. Higher profit margins, the lack of UAW strike, and the expected success of the next Super Duty series are just a few of the reasons for this boost. As we have previously noted, the estimated loss on EVs is approximately $5 billion, which is marginally more than $4.7 billion lost from the prior year. Ford would have made 50% more money if it hadn't sold vehicles like the F-150 Lightning and Mach-E. This sobering truth highlights how Ford's overall electric vehicle strategy is failing to live up to the expectations. Ford has suffered large losses as a result of the high cost of developing electric vehicles and the considerably greater expense of manufacturing them. The size of these losses has increased to the point where the company's financial stability is in jeopardy. Ford consequently declared in late 2023 that it was delaying $12 billion in investments in order to save money. Among them was the Kentucky EV facility, whose future is currently unknown and is currently on hold. John Lawler, Ford's chief financial officer, said, "Given the dynamic EV environment, we are being judicious about our production and adjusting future capacity to better match market demand." Ford has given up on its goal of producing 2 million electric vehicles by 2026. Furthermore, remarks made recently on the future of EVs have been characterized by severe caution. A growing number of Ford dealers, meanwhile, are choosing not to participate in the company's EV certification program, which necessitates large expenditures for employees' training and infrastructure. Dealers were also requested by the corporation to suspend investing in this program, in an effort to protect dealers from more bad investments in electric vehicles while the future is still unknown. Ford is deferring these financial obligations. That's all, guys. What is your thought on Ford's EV future? Do let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more information.